Words appear. Josh Hansen, U.S. Army, 2005 to 2007.
I'm Sergeant Josh Hansen, retired Army. Spent 2 tours in Iraq.
A middle-aged man in dark sunglasses drives along a mountain road. A thin, clear wire loops over his ear into the canal.
I've been hit directly by 8 IEDs.
Josh's sunglasses reflect the car's rearview mirror and the road in front of him. Now, a hand holds a 4x6 color photograph of Josh. He stands on an outdoor covered platform beside a blue dirt bike with the number 75 on the front. Josh's shirt reads Yamaha.
I've always been into motocross. I always thought, if I can't beat the guys racing, then I'll join them by being a mechanic for the guys that were beating me.
Another photo shows Josh with a content smile.
I started my own business, doing motorcycle repairs.
Back in the car, Josh drives the paved mountain road.
And then September 11th happened. By October, I was heading to basic training.
Photos continue. Josh holds up a camouflage jacket with his last name on it.
They called us IED Hunters, or route clearance. I worked out of Fallujah, and I'd go ahead of the Marines in a lead vehicle, and I'd look for the IEDs in the road, find the bombs, disarm them. Unfortunately, sometimes we'd get hit by the bombs and get, blow our trucks up.
Josh sits in a recliner and stares out a window.
It's a very stressful way to live when, you never know when your time is going to be. One of the last times I got hit, I was hit by 2 IEDs, one right after another. Spent 3 months in the hospital recovering from injuries. I had neck, back, traumatic brain injury. It was probably 4 months after being home. As the brain injury started healing a little bit better, then the PTSD really took over.
In a home office, Josh sits at a desk.
Then I got to where I couldn't really sleep at home. Didn't want to ever get out of the house, didn't want to be around people. Everything made me angry. Just even being around my own kids was really difficult when they would argue, fight, or be loud.
He faces a computer monitor, flanked by family photos.
I ended up spending $60,000 to add on to my existing house so I could add extra rooms just for me that I could lock myself in and be away from the family.
A photo shows a young woman and 2 smiling children, a boy and a girl, both under 10 years old.
My dad, he also suffers from PTSD from the Vietnam War, and wanted to make sure that I didn't have to suffer as long as he had before he got help. And so my dad said, you're going to the VA. So he was like, get in the truck, we're going.
Outside, Josh faces us.
Doctor started giving me a lot of coping skills to use, and she talked me into doing the prolonged exposure, which, part of the healing with that is getting out to like a Walmart or getting out to a store with a lot of people and just staying for X amount of time and just start easing into the process. So doing that helped out a lot.
Josh swings with his children. In still shots, his son swings the highest and sticks out his tongue. His lanky young daughter purses her lips, swinging forward. Josh smiles at the barefoot boy. In the woods, Josh stands with his arm around a fit woman with dark hair. Now, snow-dusted mountains dominate a view.
My doctor says, hey, there's this program, Wasatch Adaptive Sports. They can get veterans out and doing things. Got me out of the house more, and with other veterans. Now we've got a real tight group of us guys that go up and ski together.
Josh and 2 other men sit overlooking a valley.
So they asked me to be a military liaison for them because they realize that civilians have a harder time communicating with soldiers. So now I really enjoy helping other veterans experience the outdoors and life like I have.
On a mountaintop recreation area, Josh poses for a picture with 4 other people. As he grins, hugging a man in a ball cap, people crowd into a gondola behind them. In the distance, mountain ridges crisscross the landscape.
But it's still a roller coaster. I'll have a great week, and then I might dive down and have 2 bad weeks. I absolutely don't want to leave the house, but I force myself to. And as soon as I get out and get with other veterans, it's like all my problems go away.
Beside a lake, a woman in a t-shirt, designer baseball cap, and silver hoop earrings holds a fishing pole. Josh grins in the foreground. Now he swings with his 2 children.
I'm 41 years old now, and it's like totally new beginnings for me. I had one veteran that seen photos of me when I was doing the motocross stuff, and he's like, wow, I had no idea you used to do that stuff. Why don't you ever talk about it? And I said, well, that was then, and this is now. You know, so my life has totally changed, but it's been a change for the better.
Josh and his wife stand together as their kids jump on a trampoline. Logos appear: About Face, the National Center for PTSD, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs.